How about that cast of fighters in Smash Wii U and 3DS, huh? It started off great and just kept getting better! The veterans got stronger and the newcomers offer up some of the most unique movesets we've ever seen before. Most of them. But for this list, I'm only focusing on the recent arrivals, and only 10 can make it on here, and it's all based on whether or not I like playing as them and miscellaneous other stuff. Oh, by the way, you won't see any honorable mentions here to help prevent predictability, and it's not going to include any DLC characters. Hopefully there'll be enough in the future for a 10 list of their own. Alright, let's start it off!
10th place.
My 10th most wanted character became my 10th favorite newcomer. Go figure. When rooted to the ground, Little Mac is a tank. His normal attacks hit at smash attack power, his smash attacks hit at final smash levels, and he's the third fastest runner in the game. Put him on Final Destination of anything, and he can be something to fear. Or at least he was. Once people learned how to go up against his non-flinching fast-hitting smash attacks, he quickly became the character with the most amount of losses in the online modes. And how do you stop him? Get him airborne and watch him struggle. His recovery is so bad that everyone knows he's dead as soon as he's just a little off the stage. I will admit though, the KO punch is satisfying to use, but I do think it's a bit too much for a character that already has a lot of knockback power. Then again, he does need something to compensate for his lack of an air game, though that sheer power can make him a bit intimidating at times. Boo! Ah! That's right, you don't grab that ledge unless I say you can. There's also this cool little Easter egg with him, and I don't mean Doc Lewis's comments and his taunts.
Show him what you got, Mike, baby.
If you win with little damage, he appears normally, but if he's taken about 100% and over, he'll start to have bruises and bandages from then on, even on his victory screen. Well, sometimes, I'm not entirely sure of the specifics, but the mechanics are there. I think that's pretty neat, don't you? Love that little attention to detail.
9th place.
They are coming. Your nightmares just got worse. Their strength is unmatched.
What is this power?
You can run. You can hide. But you can't escape. The villagers. They will take everything you love and use it against you. They'll cut you. They'll crush your body. They'll bury you alive. They'll blow you up. And they can't be caught. But they can catch you. The villagers.
Holy crap, what is going on in Animal Crossing?
8th place.
The funny thing is, Smash characters work both ways. If it's a character you love, then you can't wait to master them. And if it's a character you hate, then you get to beat them up. In all honesty, there hasn't really been a character I hated that got in Smash. Until... And it takes a game like Smash to make me love them. Darn your magic, Sakurai! Duck Hunt, made of the three main aspects of the NES Classic, is definitely the most surprising character that few people thought or expected would get in. Until that leak happened, and even then it was still hard to accept. But once we saw them in action, it all made sense. Wii Fit Trainer was the first character we said that movesets shouldn't be an issue concerning a character getting into Smash. Duck Hunt made everyone agree with that because... Really? What could you come up with for this? The genius part here is that they use moves that represent the light gun games, basically Duck Hunt and Hogan's Alley. Still, it makes a lot of sense to give them a moveset like that. Plus, the dog and the duck have this comical behavior to them. You can try and spam your attacks or keep your opponents at bay, but if you play your cards right, you can lead them into thinking it's just a ploy and then lead them right into your trap. But the best part is that after all these years, we finally get an official Nintendo game where you can shoot that dog for all the times he's laughed at you. So everyone, grab a blaster, cause Trolling Dog season is open! Man, I love Smash.
7th place.
Your avatar from Fire Emblem Awakening is ready to smash and stay 3 steps ahead of everyone. While I can't say they stay true to form, Nosferatu, they did do one pretty neat thing to them, which was their limit. You can only use your specials and Living Sword a number of times before they disappear and need to regenerate. Now, I could be all literal and complain it's not the exact number of times, but who cares? I can appreciate this idea since it's exclusive to a character that makes perfect sense to the franchise they come from. Almost makes me wish they did this for some of the Pokemon characters. I have to wonder what would happen if spammers ran out of Flare Blitz. I also enjoy using Robin's Levin Sword as a smash attack in the air. By combining Arc Fire, the Levin Sword, and the electric attacks, Robin's got a pretty mean combo attack that can take out just about anyone who's unprepared. Or doesn't have a reflector. And if you're high on damage, your life force tastes good! You can even pick up your discarded weapons and throw them, using just about everything as a resource. Just what I'd expect from Robin. Like many people, I was expecting Chrom to be announced, but Robin was one of those nice surprises that caught me off guard and showed me a character that I didn't even know I wanted. I didn't even think Robin would be feasible because of all of his or her customizations. Good to be wrong sometimes.
6th place.
To be quite honest, I almost never mained a Mario character in Smash. I'm just so used to seeing and playing as them so many times that I never had the desire to play as them. It also just seemed like they didn't have that much to make them stand out besides Peach's float ability. And then... I've got to give Sakurai so much credit here. I honestly thought that if Bowser Jr. were to be playable, he would either be a faster or weaker version of Bowser, or he would just use the paintbrush. But giving him the Koopa Clown car is a way better idea! Think about it, most of the times you actually fight Bowser Jr., it's when he's in some giant mech or in Smiley McPunch-You-A-Lot. In that sense, it actually feels like you are playing as the boss of a game, and he's definitely a more faithful adaptation than Captain Falcon's number 4 fan.
Falcon Punch! Falcon Kick!
This thing kinda makes me feel like I'm playing as Inspector Gadget sometimes. Go-Go Gadget Fork! Go-Go Gadget Punching Gloves! Go-Go Gadget Wheels! Go-Go Gadget Circular Saw! He's a Swiss Army knife of KOing! My favorite is sending out a Mecha Koopa because... genius! The most impressive thing to me is that his alternates are the 7 Koopalings, so if you don't like this brat, you can pick one of the more original ones. This just looks way cooler than, say, if you were to slightly change them and then fill the roster with 7 clones. That would just look terrible! Also, he kinda reminds me of Kermit the Frog. Yay!
5th place.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, a body breaker is what you are. Getting punched from afar, it's like getting hit by a car. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, you will leave emotional scars. Rosalina and her Luma puppets can be very dangerous in the right hands. Strength in numbers or divide and conquer, that's how they work. Or use Luma as a shield and go in for the attack, that works too. Most players know to go for the Luma right away as they can leave Rosalina with less power. Though to be fair, she can still hold her own, and because of her floaty nature, I can footstool jump with her better than any other character. It's quite effective. But if you ignore the Lumas, then buddy, you asked for it. Nothing feels more like a slap to the face than being hit by a Luma after launching Rosalina. It's the multitask ability of knowing that if one character is out of commission, use the other one right away. When I first started making this list, I had Bowser Jr. at 5th place, but recently I've gotten better with this duo, enough to make other players very annoyed. Luma, you're a great co-star.
4th place.
Hey look, it's Mewtwo! And it's a ninja now! Oh wait. Before it even got its name, Sakurai saw this Pokemon and said, "Oh, I know what I can do with this." You sure can, if by that you mean I'm gonna make up stuff. Greninja doesn't have water swords, said no one ever because they are its best attacks, especially the up ones. Watch now, Game Freak will probably make a move for it later on because of how sweet it is to use. But hey, at least its specials actually have source material. Substitute for countering and apparently blocking. Nice. Water Shuriken, because how could you not give a Pokemon their signature attack? Hydro Pump, which can get you out of just about any fall and can prevent others from getting back on. It's like spitting in their face with force. And Shadow Sneak. Now you see me? Now I hit you! It's great for attacking edge guarders, and if you play your cards right, you can do it while running. But I think it was taken out in a patch just like its down air to side B. Greninja is a double-edged water sword for me. When I'm in the zone, I'm untouchable. Just look at this if you didn't believe me. That poor guy can't escape from my whirlpool of pain. But when they can break away, or when I'm not in my zone, Frog's Legs, anyone? When I look back, it was hard to think of who else they could have used from Gen 6. And honestly, I think they chose the best Pokemon for the job. When it comes to third-party characters in Smash, I'm all for it, as long as they originated from a video game and have been on a Nintendo system. You know who else supports guest characters? Nintendo's golden boy Shigeru Miyamoto, the guy behind Mario, DK, Zelda, Star Fox, Pikmin, and so many others, actually supports third parties in Smash, because guess who he really wanted to have in the game? Yep, Mr. Game Designer of all time is actually a big fan of Pac-Man. He even designed Pac-Man Vs. for the GameCube primarily for that sole reason. He originally requested Pac-Man for Brawl, but Sakurai kept thinking of Pac-Man as this, and not this, so he didn't think it would work. Sakurai, always changing his mind. I didn't think I'd have as much fun playing as him, but his spontaneous moves easily got him high on my list. Pac-Man's moveset is primarily based on his arcade games rather than his platforming adventures, and in my opinion, I feel that was for the best, as I think a larger number of people are more familiar with this form and the ghosts. He has a lot of strong attacks that come from the most successful coin-operated arcade machine ever. His Fire Hydrant has so many uses that you better get used to seeing it show up a lot in matches. Most of his attacks can be used really fast that can make playing against him feel unpredictable, and he's got plenty of combo abilities. But I think the one thing I like most about him is his smile. It's not disturbing like the villagers. You can tell that he is genuinely happy to be here, and even though I'd still like to see Lloyd Irving get in someday, I'm as happy as he is that he's here. Now for those who've been watching my channel since I made that list of characters I'd like to see get in, you know that these two are left. But who is number one on my list? Is my number one requested character number one? Or does the super fighting robot power up to first place? Let's look at them individually, starting with who got announced first.
Hey look! It's Mega Man!
Mega Man's reveal was nothing short of scream at the top of your lungs, and Nintendo knew it.
It is really him! Wow!
Since Inafune left Capcom, Mega Man has received nothing but cancelled games, so the hopes of fans wanting him to get into Smash seemed like nothing more than a pipe dream, as it looked as if Capcom just didn't know what to do with him, other than not make money. But fortunately, the fan demand for Mega Man to get in was still so high, it couldn't be ignored, and Sakurai and team responded with an intro trailer that couldn't get fans to shut up for days, weeks, maybe even a few months. I still look back on that trailer and think, it finally happened, and I still can't believe it! After hearing that Mega Man feels just like his 8-bit games, I locked it into my brain and got the hang of him in no time. He's quickly become one of my go-to guys as he can test the online waters for lag, since he isn't as affected by it as much as, say, the faster characters. His slide is so good it's almost broken. Air Shooter on the Wii U looks bigger than him, and anyone unlucky enough to get caught in its push better pucker up to kiss the sky. Rush is the greatest recovery. Argue against that if you can. He's also the only character to have a projectile smash attack. Unless you count Olimar Ouse and the Villagers, but his goes further and is deadly. Of course, to keep it in balance, it can also be used against him. A reflector is Mega Man's greatest weakness, as about half of his moves are projectiles that can be thrown right back at him. But with powerful moves like Slash Claw, Flame Blast, and Spark Shot, you'll be fine. Also, the Mega Upper equals Smile. And if you think the Leaf Shield sucks, it's because you're doing it wrong. It was meant to make others flinch and stop spammers. You have no idea how useful that can be. When you know how to utilize all of his moves, Mega Man is hard to take out. So how does Monado Boy compare?
Now it's Shulk time.
Shulk's popularity is mostly contributed to the Smash community, as I'm sure many people never even heard of Shulk until Smash speculation came up. It's rather ironic that one of the most requested characters was also one of the more esoteric ones. And let me tell you, it feels so good to not only play his game, but also have shown my support for him as well. I was a bit worried about his moveset since he doesn't have that many unique sword attacks, though nailing someone in the back with a backslash? There's good, and then there's good. But man, I never would have thought my second idea would actually be implemented.
This is the Monado's power!
I was starting to think it would have been a bit too difficult for the developers to actually let him enhance his own abilities with the Monado, but somehow they made it work, and has since become my most strategic character to use, with a high-risk, high-reward payoff. He almost feels like a switchable character because of that. My personal favorites are Speed and Smash, since it tends to catch others off guard, which can let me get in some great combos, while Smash will finish the job. I admit that I do tend to spam his smashes more than I should, but with that power and range, it's hard to fight the urge. Also, he got his own stage with the soundtrack. Score! Sure, his announcement was spoiled in the leak, but I still love his trailer for how well it shows his abilities. So what's the final verdict? Well, I came up with 2 reasons on how I reached my final placement between the 2.
The winner is...
I'm really feeling... not good!
Hey, come on, Shulk. Second place is still a good result. While both Mega Man and Shulk were highly requested, Shulk didn't seem like he had to jump through as many hurdles to get in, whereas being a third-party character who only heard the word cancel for a number of years made his chances seem much more unlikely, which only made his reveal that much more exciting. But the biggest reason of all was just how well handled he was. He really does feel like he was ripped right out of his games, as shown in his hit animations and KO balls. All of his attacks have source material. We can identify where those moves came from. None of his specials, smashes, or regular attacks feel made up with the exception of getting on the stage or recovering off the floor. They were altered, sure, but for the better. Look, they made Super Arm and Top Spin good. I didn't think that was even possible. Not even Mario has source material for all of his moves. Yeah, his running and shooting animation is incorrect, and I can't believe they messed up his original robot assistant worker name. It's Rock, not Mega. It says so in the opening of Mega Man 4, but they finally let him smile, which makes me smile. Also, they did this. That is incredible attention to detail that any fan of the Blue Bomber can appreciate. Mega Man feels more of a faithful adaptation from his games than just about any other character in Smash, and that is something I do not take lightly. And that's it for this list, and if you have a difference of opinion, I'd love to hear who your 10 favorite newcomers for Smash 3DS and Wii U are. Honestly, I think that alone gets him the #1 spot on my list. Day 3 of Smash Week is done. Oh yeah! Halfway there! Special thanks to SBO Thief and his girlfriend for helping me get some footage, and if you missed the first 2 videos, they're right up there, and coming up we have the redo reviews for the first 3 Smash Bros. Games, and then ending the week off we have the review for the 3DS and Wii U versions. It'll be nice to finally have this week all wrapped up, and instead of dragging this on for too long, I'll just end it here. Later everyone!